All right, a few things to talk about today. We're going to start with Ilhan Omar goes on. She goes crazy. A wild rant. It's insane. I don't even know if I'm allowed to show this on YouTube. It is so hateful, mean. It's wild. Okay, I'm not gonna bury the lead anymore. Next video to look out for today is just we're gonna go over some polling on Trump's numbers, his approval rating, and some of the polling on some of the actions he's taken, like on immigration, on Gaza, and stuff like that. So I was browsing my favorite place, r/conservative, on Reddit, and I came across this article that they shared. It says, it caught my eye. Ilhan Omar goes on a wild rant, calls Americans idiots who shouldn't be allowed to have views. And we'll circle back to the comments. They're fun. So we have from redstate.com, and we're going to watch their video, the context they provide. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself just reading some of this. We're not going to read this article. I just kind of want to skim some of the things. So we have a 33-second clip here. Let's see what this wild, insane, crazy rant is.
These people are just idiots. I really, I'm at the point where it's become really hard to have an intellectual debate with any of these people because the level of stupidity that they are displaying every single day is frankly embarrassing, not just in Congress, but as Americans. And the fact that these people are allowed to say just the most ridiculous things tells you that the dumbing of the United States has arrived, because how else do we get a Trump presidency again?
All right. She is 100% correct. But yeah, so that's it. That's literally it. That is the context they provided. I'm sure if we looked at the full context, it doesn't even look as bad. The funny thing about context with Democrat clips versus Republican clips, with Republicans it's like, okay, maybe I should look at the context more and get the full context of the clip. It's like, oh wait, that makes it worse. And then for Democrats, it's like, I'll get the full context of that clip too. It's like, oh wait, why is anyone making a big deal? Like, this is even more insane that people care about this. Anyways, I digress. So there's no better vote outreach than having a chronically ungrateful Islamist supporting Somali refugee who still pretends her hellish homeland is a moral bastion calls Americans idiots because they believe in silly things like borders and government accountability. Bro, who reads this? Do I feel sorry that Democrats are saddled with this person as one of their mouthpieces? Not even a little bit. Americans are tired of being lectured. I understand that. Like, I understand the left can come off as very, lectury. They can definitely talk down their nose at you. But you gotta understand, there's a reason for it. It shouldn't... The left has been vilified by the right to a point where, like, I want to know what you want for me as a fellow American at the end of the day, because from my point of view, it looks like you just want to see me melt down and cry. Meanwhile, I'm fighting and advocating for things like free healthcare for all Americans. I'm fighting for things like free education for all Americans. I'm fighting for things like, hey, climate change is real and we should make a real effort to combat that. The science says it's real. Hey, I think vaccines are actually effective, and I think this anti-vax talk is a little silly. Like, I just want what's best for you. Honestly. And you can live your life however you want. You want to tell us we can't get abortions. You want to tell us we can't get sex changes. You want to tell us we can't do this. We have to enter our ID to watch porn. Like, We don't want to. What is the last? Okay, I digress. I'm done. I'm going off into a side tangent. Anyways, so that was the rant. Back to reality here. That was nothing. Okay, that was absolutely nothing. I don't I don't get it that like it's hilarious the one or two times a year where a Democrat will come out and tell it like it is and say things a little bit controversial. The right just melts down. Like when Joe Biden called people who supported Trump garbage, they melted down to the point where Biden had to go back and basically apologize and retract his statement. What's another one? Oh, when Tim Walz called you guys weirdos or weird, melted down over that. And I'm gonna try to ignore this fascist and communism back and forth because I don't want to hear any conservative be upset for us calling Trump a fascist when you guys on the daily and Trump on True Social would share things about Kamala being a communist and all of her supporters being communists, Marxists, whatever. All right, let's just turn a blind eye on both sides there and look at everything else. Okay. Anyways, I just keep going off on a rant, but I want to read some of these comments. So, she needs to go back to her home country and run for office there. Comrade Ilhan Omar got to the U.S. only because her father, who was ineligible to resettle here, committed immigration fraud. As a former member of the recently collapsed Somali government, he wasn't eligible. He affiliated himself with the Omar family, which was a fraudulent action. Her brother ended up in the UK since it wasn't possible to add him to the Omar family. She in turn committed immigration fraud to bring her brother to the U.S. Isn't Elon Musk like an illegal immigrant? Didn't he like kind of come here illegally? Well, whatever. Anytime they project about anything, that means they're guilty of it. This woman is so stupid she can't tell the difference between her husband and her brother. That's because there isn't one. They're literally the same person. Huh. Did Ilhan Omar marry her brother? Can I even ask this to ChatGPT? There is no credible evidence to support the claim that Ilhan Omar married her brother. This allegation has been widely debunked by independent fact-checking organizations. Yeah, okay. And she has consistently denied the claim. There's no documentation that shows it. Okay. Sharia law would shut her up. If she went back to Somalia, she would appreciate how much better she has it here. Like, who says this? She doesn't even believe in that. I'll fact check it just to make sure. Does Ilhan Omar support Sharia law? She has not advocated for the implementation of Sharia law in the United States. As a U.S. Congresswoman, she has consistently supported policies aligned with progressive democratic values, including civil rights, women's rights, and religious freedom. While she is a Muslim, her political positions are rooted in democratic governance and constitutional law, not religious law. Claims that she supports Sharia law are often based on misinformation or misrepresentation of her views. Okay. The irony sounds kind of fascist. What do you mean? How is that fascist? You know what sounds fascist? Declaring yourself king, making memes about it, and then taking executive orders to back that up. Taking control of several independent agencies, especially watchdog agencies, saying that only your word is law, no one else's. Like, what are we doing? Isn't that called communism? What are you talking about? This sibling should be deported. Like, are you kidding me? 56 upvotes. This is the slop that comes out of there. Like, it's just who they are, and I don't get it. This is like the type of humor and stances I had when I was like 15. This is crazy. People who marry their brother don't get a say in anyone's life. This chick couldn't win an argument with my 14-year-old son. Why is she in the news again? they made a bunch of claims here that were clearly false. You know, marrying her brother, or implying that she believes in Sharia law just because she's a Muslim. When, if you look at her politics and her policies, it's stuff like free healthcare, free education. Maybe we shouldn't be having a genocide in Gaza. Stuff like that. And of course, Republicans will look at her and be like, yeah, you're the problem. And then look at people like Elon Musk and Donald Trump, who are cutting regulatory agencies and stuff that is meant to help the American people. And LRB, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Now the FTC, SEC, all that, that's all under Trump's control now. So what do you think they're going to do with that? It's insane that these people just think I'm the one that's in a bubble. I don't get it. This stuff, it just blows my mind to the point where I don't even know what to say. All right. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. I know I kind of got off topic and a little rambly, but it's just hard when I'm just looking what the actual conservative discourse is. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I will see you in the next one. If you made it to this point in the video, I just want to give a special thank you. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button down below, and if you really enjoyed it, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button while you're down there. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. I will try to reply to any and all comments that I can. Until next time, watch that video on screen.